Okay, let's be honest. Does the very idea of getting up in front of a crowd make your palms sweat? Yeah, you are so not alone. In fact, you're in the majority. So today, we're going to dig into how you can take that fear, flip it on its head, and turn it into real confidence. We're talking about delivering a message that actually connects. Let's do this.
I mean, this quote from Marjorie North at Harvard, it just nails it, right? Snakes? Fine. Flying? No problem. Public speaking? Yikes. That pretty much sums it up for a lot of people. It is one of the most common fears out there. But, and this is a big but, it's a fear you can totally learn to manage.
So, first things first, before you even think about writing a single word of your speech, the real battle begins up here, in your head. It's all about mastering your mindset. If you want to conquer that stage, you've got to start by taming that little voice of anxiety inside.
You know that feeling, right? Your heart starts pounding, maybe your hands get a little shaky. It is so easy to think, oh no, I'm going to bomb this. But what if that's not what's happening at all? What if your body is actually helping you? Experts at Harvard say that's just adrenaline. It's your body's way of gearing up, getting you super alert and ready for peak performance. It's not a sign you're shutting down, it's a sign you're powering up.
So the secret here isn't to try and make that feeling just go away. Because, spoiler alert, it probably won't. The real trick is to channel it. So the big question is, how do you take all that jittery, nervous energy and transform it into something powerful, something focused? Okay, so here are 3 really powerful, practical techniques you can use courtesy of Forbes to get that energy working for you instead of against you. First up, deep breathing. Seriously, don't underestimate this one. It's like hitting a reset button for your entire nervous system. Just a few slow, deep breaths can work wonders. Second, visualization. This is huge. Don't just hope you'll do well, actually see yourself doing well. Picture the audience smiling, nodding, really getting what you're saying. And third, progressive muscle relaxation. You literally go through your body, tensing up a muscle group and then just letting it go. It's a physical way to release all that tension you're carrying. All right, once you've got your head in the right space, it's time to build the real foundation of confidence. And that foundation is preparation. Think about it. Anxiety loves uncertainty, right? Well, a solid, well-thought-out plan is like kryptonite to that anxiety. Now this is a game changer. It's a huge mental shift. The speech, it's not about you. It's a gift you're giving to the audience. And the second you start thinking about it that way, as an act of service, so much of that pressure just melts away. The folks at Harvard really drive this home. You have to start by knowing your audience. Who are these people? What do they care about? What do they need to hear from you? And here's how you build that plan. Think of this framework as your roadmap, or maybe your safety net. It's the structure that's going to keep you from getting lost up there. You start with the basics, your topic, your purpose. Then you build out your main points, all centered around one big idea. But, and this is so important, you need to plan your opening, that hook. You have to know exactly what you're going to say in those first 30 seconds to grab their attention. Having this path laid out is what gives you the confidence to just talk. So you've got the structure, the bones of your speech. Now it's time to polish it up. And this isn't about trying to sound like some kind of genius. It's about being clear. It's about being trusted. When your language is clean and correct, your audience doesn't get sidetracked by little mistakes. They can focus on what really matters, your ideas. And this is really where that polishing pays off. Look, nobody expects you to be a grammar professor, but it's about showing respect for your audience's time and attention. When you get the little details right, like knowing the difference between effect and effect, it sends a quiet but powerful message. It says, hey, I cared enough about this and about you to get it right. And that precision, as sources like Grammarly point out, builds a ton of credibility. It helps your message land exactly the way you want it to. Okay, so your message is prepped and polished. Now we can shift gears. We're moving away from just what you're saying and into how you're saying it. Because the real goal here isn't just to talk at people. It's to turn a monologue into a dialogue, into a real shared experience. And this is so important. Please, please do not be a robot. Nobody wants to listen to a talking head just reading off facts. Your audience wants to connect with you, a real live human being. When you let your actual personality come through, that's what builds trust. That's what makes people lean in and really listen. And you know one of the absolute best ways to do that? Tell a story. Just like this quote says, throwing in a funny anecdote or a personal story does so much more than just get a laugh. It makes you relatable. It instantly turns a dry presentation into a shared human moment. Okay, this next one is a huge one. Whatever you do, try not to read from a full script. It just puts up this invisible wall between you and the people you're talking to. The much better way to go? Work from a simple outline. Just bullet points. This frees you up to actually look at people, to make real eye contact, to see how they're reacting, and to have a genuine conversation. All right, let's talk about the parts of your speech that people remember the most. We're going to zero in on the 2 moments that have the biggest impact: how you start and how you finish.
And I mean, look at the difference here. A weak opening like, hi, today I'm going to talk about, is it total snooze fest? People are already tuning out. But a strong opening, one that hits them with a shocking statistic or a fascinating little story or a really thought-provoking question, bam, you've got them. They're hooked, and they can't wait to hear what you have to say next.
And the same goes for the end. Don't just trail off and stop. You've got to bring it home with a strong finish. Quickly wrap up your main points, sure, but then leave them with something powerful, a memorable statement or a call to action that's going to stick in their heads long after you're done speaking. So, we've walked through the whole process: getting your mind right, preparing your message, and connecting with your audience. But before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought. And honestly, this might be the most freeing, most important idea of them all.
Think about it. Our entire lives, what have we been told? Practice makes perfect, right? It's drilled into us. But what if I told you that when it comes to public speaking, that's actually terrible advice? What if perfection is the absolute wrong thing to be aiming for? Listen to this. From the experts at Harvard, good communication is never perfect and nobody expects you to be perfect. Let that sink in for a second. The goal is not a flawless, robotic performance. The goal is connection. It's about putting in the time and the effort to deliver a better speech, not a perfect one. So please, take all that pressure for perfection and just let it go. Focus on making progress. Focus on making a connection. And you know what? You'll find that you're not just conquering the podium, you might actually start to enjoy it.